What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a review for VH1's Family Reunion, Love and Hip Hop Edition, Season 2. This is episode 8, you guys. So the episode is titled Blood is Thicker Than Mud. I don't know why they named the episode that, but hey, it is what it is. Now, before we go ahead and just get into this review, you guys, before we get into the review, like the video, you guys, subscribe to my channel, turn on your notifications, share the video, and you guys, with that out the way, without further ado, let's discuss VH1's Family Reunion, Love and Hip Hop Edition, shall we? All right, you guys, so this episode, we open up and we pick up where we left off. You guys remember that Amina let it drop that Peter did not want his son to dress up as a ladybug for Halloween, right? And you guys remember that Peter and Amina, not Peter and Amina, but Peter and Tara both said that their son, he did pick out the outfit, but eventually he changed his mind, right? So Peter is upset, Amina's upset, Tara is upset, and I get everyone's point of view. I get Tara. Tara's like, that's my son, so, if I didn't feel some type of way about it, you shouldn't, right? Peter feels a way about it because of, cancel culture, because if someone gets a whiff of that and thinks that Peter is in fact homophobic, then that could be the end of Peter's career, and I absolutely understood that, right? And do I believe that Peter is homophobic? Absolutely not. I don't think that Peter is homophobic. What I do think Peter is misogynistic. That's neither here nor there, but I don't think Peter is homophobic. And then, Peter is talking about the fact that they named their daughter Corey after the woman who raised him, right? So, he did that in honor of that woman. So, again, like I said, I don't believe that Peter is homophobic, right? So then it's so interesting. We see Erica. So Erica is talking to Peter, right? Erica is, understanding where Peter is coming from, but then she's also defending her friend Amina, right? But at the end of the day, wrong is wrong. That wasn't the time nor the place for Amina to bring that up. And like I said in last week's review, I believe that Amina was being 100% petty when she did that. I think Amina was like, what, Peter has made me look foolish on television for years. So turnabout is fair play. And that's my opinions on that, right? So then we see rubbing pennies, and Eric also feels that Peter and Amina should talk, absolutely, right? So then we see rubbing pennies. So he went and he talked to Amina, right? And he tells Amina, like, that could have been done differently, right? Which absolutely it could have been done differently, and she could have said it different. She could have. There's many of ways she could have said that. Do I believe that Peter was being homophobic? No. I don't think that he was being homophobic when he told his son not to dress up as a ladybug. I think what Peter, and even this could be a little bit problematic when you think about it. The fact that he's saying that that's a girl's costume, right? True enough, we have costumes that are made for men and made for women, right? But and it goes back to this whole notion that people attach gender assignment to sexuality, right? And that's so annoying to me when people do that. Like, y'all gonna cut off that little boy's dick for Boosie. Like, why are you worried about his penis? That's not what no one's worried about that, right? This child is telling you that they feel that they were born in the wrong body, right? They feel that they were meant to be a girl or a boy. And here you are, you talking about you're confusing the kids, but you're confusing them even more when you attach sexuality to gender, especially in a kid that probably knows nothing about sex. But hey, I'm not gonna go there. We're gonna keep talking about this, right? So, rubbing pennies, he feels that, both Amina and Peter need to have a conversation, and absolutely they need to have a conversation with each other, right? So then you guys remember that it's interesting that this season they're doing it different, because did they do this? I can't remember. I know they did an event during the day, but I don't remember them doing one at night, right? But you guys remember, so Jonathan had that was his event that got ruined earlier in the day. So now Bobby is having an event, and he's gonna have Jonathan co-host it with him, right? So he is having a drag show. Baby, when I tell you the confidence that Zelle has, I wish I had it, right? To walk around, with Zelle just walking around with his stomach all out, I wish I had Zelle's confidence. So Bobby, like I said, did the drag show. The drag queens came out and they did a phenomenal job. I loved it, right? So then we see Peter. So Peter is talking to Jonathan, and Jonathan is telling him like, "Hey, Peter, I know you, and I know that's not your heart, right? I know you're not a homophobic. Like, if you were, you really wouldn't be friends with me, right?" So then we see Safari. So Safari's trying to talk to Erica, and Erica's like, "No." He's like, "Don't turn your back to me, Erica." She was like, "Really, Safari? You've done things." I'm like, "Oh God, here we go with this bullshit." You guys, Eric and Safari, they are annoying at best. That's all I got to say. So then Shakana, she was trying to talk to Safari. She was like, "What do you want me to say to Erica? Girl, butt out." So then Cisco decides to make a point. I'm like, "Dude, you just don't understand timing, do you?" So Cisco makes it a point that he wants to go up to, Safari and say, "Hey, Safari, so tomorrow, about 11 noon, can we meet here and we have a conversation about some stuff?" I'm like, "Cisco, are we about to talk about this Deb Atney shit again? Because if we are, I'm tired, right? I'm tired of it." So then we see Amina, right? So she's talking to Peter, and Peter is telling Amina that, that whole situation that happened earlier today, it just felt like you came with malice intent. Now, Amina doesn't believe she came with malice intent. I'm like, "Really, Amina? You don't think you came with malice?" I know she said that it was something that was in her mind and she just had to say it. But okay, Amina, if you say so. Then this is where things went left. Somebody told Tara to go over there because at one point Amina and Peter started arguing with each other. Then it became Amina screaming at Peter, screaming at Tara, screaming at Amina. I was like, "What the hell is going on here?" I was like, "Oh my God." But eventually Tara and Amina, they made up with each other, right? They're good, right? And I think what it is with Tara and Amina with their kids, I feel like they're raising their kids in an environment where how do I say this? What am I trying to say? I feel like what they're doing is they're trying to mesh their parenting together since they both have kids around the same age with Peter. I feel like they're trying to raise the kids kind of together, you would say. If that makes sense, it probably doesn't, but hey, we're gonna move on, you guys. All right, guys, so it's the next day. So we see Sin and Booby, they're out by the beach, and Sin and Booby are having a conversation with each other. So Sin and Booby are still trying to figure out what this is between them, right? What do they want going forward? And I could have swore Booby said that he didn't want a girlfriend or he doesn't want a boyfriend-girlfriend situation. So what the fuck do you want, dude? Because he's talking about the fact that, he enjoys spending time with her. He enjoys talking to her and being around her. So I was like, so what are we doing? Like, I just want to know what. Hell, I'm confused. Just like the rest of the cast is confused, I'm confused. What is this situation? Is this just for a storyline? Like, because it's really giving me storyline at this point. The more I literally sit and look at Sin and Booby, it's giving me storyline. Yeah. What is that character's name from Nutty Professor, the one that heckled Eddie Murphy's character? What is the comedian when he took his hat off his head and you saw them braids on his head? That's what Booby's hair. That is exactly what Booby's hair looked like when I saw him without his hat. I was like, oh, he grew his hair out. Oh, Booby has been wearing. I didn't realize that Booby has been wearing caps this entire time, or hats. I'm like, yeah, Booby, it might be better that you keep that shit on your head because I never want to see that again. But hey, whatever. So then we move over and we get to this meetup with Safari and Cisco. So Cisco now has two problems with Safari, and it's not the previous problem that we had before, which was him not showing up to Deb Atney's party. The issue he has now is the fact that, Safari tried him the last time that they talked, right? But you came at the man at an inopportune time. So yeah, you got what you got. Now you have, and then you also have an issue with the fact that he went and said something to Dirty Feet Pete. I was like, oh God. So Safari's like, it seemed like you checking me again, I'll slap you. I was like, Safari, I would kind of not mention the word slap around the Incredible Hulk. Because he said, oh, you'll slap me. So then Cisco lunged at him and swung at him. I'm like, see? What you get, Safari? I would have backed down. So then we see, Safari, he's talking to Peter about the situation. We see Cisco talking to Stevie about the situation. Honestly, it's stupid. What are we fighting for? We're fighting over what? Exactly. Nothing. Not a damn thing at all. Not a damn thing. Like, what the fuck? Like, y'all are literally sitting here fighting over absolutely nothing. So, was it rubbing pennies? Somebody suggested that Cisco and, no, it was Safari. He was talking to Peter. He was telling Peter that, maybe the next time him and Cisco have a talk, that rubbing pennies and Dirty Feet Pete are there to facilitate the conversation. I'm just wondering why that wasn't the case this entire time. Cisco knows that Safari and Peter are cool. Cisco knows that, and then y'all been talking to Cisco. Y'all been telling Cisco, hey, this might not be the best time to have a conversation with him. Why haven't y'all at one point sat down with this Negro and said, nigga, sit down, calm down, let me and him have a conversation. Let me and Peter facilitate this conversation, right? But no, they didn't do that. Did not do that at all. So we're gonna pause here and wrap up the episode, you guys. All right, you guys. So how many more? So the question that I do have now is, how many more episodes are left of this season of Family Reunion? Because they're talking about they only have a few more nights left, few more days left on on this trip, right? So I just wonder how many episodes are left. And then I know next week they are doing a lineage kind of episode with some cast members from Love and Hip Hop. Here's another question that I have, right? Love and Hip Hop New York and Hollywood, have those been canceled? Because we haven't gotten any one of them. Like Hollywood never came, the pandemic hit, so we definitely didn't get Hollywood. But New York, the second half, they stopped recording that before during the pandemic. So I'm just wondering, because we've gotten 2 seasons of Family Reunion. We've gotten 2 seasons and we got 2 different seasons, right? We got the seasons of Atlanta and Miami. We got 2 seasons of Family Reunion. Those are 4 different seasons of shows, right? And we have yet to get Love and Hip Hop in New York or Hollywood. So I wonder, have they been canceled? Because they haven't said anything. But hey, it is what it is. So we're gonna finish up the episode, you guys. So we see the cast. So Stevie has been charged with putting on a pool party for the cast, right? So, oh God, when they put that camera on Kimbella's ass, I was like, damn. How do you find clothes to fit your ass? No shade to it, but how do you find? Actually, speaking of which, so cause I'm trying to make this video a little bit longer because I'm really at the end of my notes, so that's why I'm talking randomly. But speaking of Kimbella's butt, not saying that her butt is botched or anything. Have you guys watched Kate Michelle's show that is on Lifetime? I saw the trailer for that show and oh God. Like, I'm not a squeamish person or nothing like that, but there's absolutely no way in hell I could watch that show because certain things I can't see. And those things, like, I was looking at some of them scabs and stuff on them people and some of their pot. I was like, oh God, the price people pay for, trying to basically emulate what they see on social media. The one thing I would preference to say to anybody thinking about plastic surgery, 1, research your doctor. That's the number 1 thing. Research your doctor. That's top. If you're gonna do it, research your doctor. Number 2, don't do something to your body because you're trying to please other people or, get likes from get people to like you or things like that. Don't do that. Don't go into it with those intentions. Do it because it'll make you feel better. Do it because it'll make you happy, right? That's the one thing that I just want to say because just interesting because I was just thinking about Kimbella's butt again. I'm not saying that her butt is botched. I'm just wondering, why did she go so damn big? Because when she was in that swimsuit, I was like, well, God damn, that's a lot of ass, right? So we see Peter and Amina, right? So they're sitting at the pool, right? So Peter and Amina, They both apologized to each other for the situation. Peter was like, I shouldn't have told you, don't speak on, don't talk about my son. Because like I said, I feel like that's what I was trying to say earlier, a blended family. I don't know why I couldn't say that. I feel like they're a blended family and they're blending together so that way they can raise the kids together. So I think that's probably why Amina took such offense to that. But again, like I said, if anybody should have said anything about it, it really should have been Tara and not Amina. But hey, it is what it is, you guys. But they apologize to each other, right? So then we finally get this conversation between Safari and Cisco, right? I'm starting to think that I'm starting to think that a lot of this shit that they've been doing is literally just only for the cameras, because the conversation that Cisco and him and Safari are having, it's civil. There's no elevated voices. There's no threats of slapping someone. It's calm. Like, what the fuck? Because they're both going through similar things, right? Because Cisco says when did Cisco ever get married? I never knew he was married. He said he was divorced and that he hasn't saw his kids in 6 months. Once again, I'm gonna ask the question: why have you not saw your kids in 6 months? Now we know that there could be some baby mama, baby daddy drama, right? But you haven't made an effort to try to reach out to your kids. How old are your kids? Is the next question. Just asking. I just have questions, right? So he's saying that Safari said he's going through a lot of shit, right? And Cisco says you're not the only one going through shit. That is true. He's not the only one going through things, but you were antagonizing that man. I mean, the first time you talked to him, each time you want to talk to the man, with the exception of the time that you said, hey, let's meet the next morning, just me and you. Every time you've approached this man, it was after he got into an altercation with his wife. So it was kind of like the man, like a sleeping bear. The bear had already been poked. And then here you come like, oh, you just poked that bear? Let me poke it too. So again, like I said, they were able to have a civil conversation and it's a done deal. So then like I said, Stevie is having the day part of the event, right? So it's the pool party. So Zelle is going to be hosting something later that night, right? And then out of nowhere, who shows up at that goddamn Paris? I'm not a big fan of Paris. I just don't see it for Paris. It ain't got nothing to, y'all know I like K Michelle, but that ain't got nothing to do with K Michelle. I find Paris quite annoying, to be quite honest with you. Just find her very annoying. But she's there. I'm trying to figure out why she's there, right? So then, Stevie wants them to all just basically have, they're having fun. So I guess Stevie got like a karaoke machine and they going around, they on the mic. Safari was first and Erica's like, you need to get off the mic, which that one we can agree on. Get off the mic. Nobody wants to hear your verse. Then, Bobby got on the mic. Then we see old Dirty Feet Pete and Erica. He's coming up with a song, You're Still Married, right? And that's really pretty much it. You know what I will say before I close this video out, you guys, it's really interesting watching this show, right? Especially with Erica, because like I said before in the first episode review, Erica has had a lot of beef with people on this cast, and she's talking to both Peter and to Stevie, two men that she's gone hard at. But hey, it is what it is, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Please subscribe to my channel, turn on your notifications, share the video, you guys, and into the next one. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, you guys, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.